you wanted the war. Now you wanna talk before you wanted the war. Now you wanna talk before you wanted the war. Now you wanna talk.
Right, welcome to this edition of Boxing Addictz, brought to you by BoxingAddiction.com. I'm the ghetto phenom Ishmael H.
Mike D. And E-Easy.
This weekend we got Ike Quartey, Vernon Forrest squaring off in a matchup at 154. Vernon Forrest has been on the shelf since 2003. He's fought two nondescript opponents. He's had those rotator and shoulder, arm injuries that have been kind of holding him back. Is he healed from that? That's going to be a big question going into this fight. As far as I'm concerned, I don't know. I'm not real confident that he's healed because he's trained. He's had a couple bouts against lower end guys, and he's had setbacks every time. Going into this bout with Ike Quartey, I think he needs to be at 100%. Ike Quartey is a strong fighter. He's an upper class guy. He's on the comeback trail himself. But Vernon Forrest, his shoulder's going to have to hold up. He's going to need to be able to use both hands to have a sustained attack to keep Quartey off of him. Mike, what do you think the matchup breakdown is looking like?
I think you hit a lot of nails on the head where you have Vernon Forrest coming off the injuries. I think this is the second postponement of this fight, so they finally going through with it. But I think it comes down to Vernon Forrest's skill versus Ike Quartey's strength. Ike Quartey was able to reign terror on the welterweight division for a long time with just his jab and his strength. I think Vernon is the more skillful fighter, but if he's not able to perform at 100%, that kind of goes out the window. If I had to pick a winner strictly on skill, I have to go with Vernon Forrest. I think he has more wrinkles in his game. I think he's a better complete fighter, but you know, Ike is physically strong, and we saw where Vernon Forrest has problems with physically strong fighters, you know, in his bout with his two bouts with Mallorca. So I'll probably go ahead and stick with my pick of Vernon on a decision, possible KO. I saw him, Ike hit the deck kind of hard against Vernon Phillips. Kind of lucky to make it out of that one, but Vernon Forrest at 100% is a whole different type of fighter. So I'll go ahead and take Vernon by decision.
It's a tough fight to pick. It's definitely a pick'em fight. You know, given all the Force's injuries, the layoffs for both of them. I'm going to go ahead and go with Bazooka in this one. Although he's the underdog, I like what he brings to the table, and I do think that his strength will make the difference in this fight. I don't think there'll be a knockout. I think it'll go 12 rounds, and I'm going to roll with Bazooka on this one, Ike Quartey.
Yeah, I'm leaning the same way right now, only because Quartey, since his comeback, he took 5 years off after 2000. But in his comeback, his last couple opponents he's fought, Vernon Phillips, had some shaky moments, but he won that fight. He fought Carlos Borquez, came out, whereas Vernon Forrest's, Sergio Rios, and another guy whose name I can't remember, you know, two guys who aren't going to prepare you for a world-class opponent. So right now I'm going to give Quartey the edge. In the battling card on Showtime, we got the Marquez brothers, Rafael and Juan Manuel. And these are two guys who probably should be bigger stars than they are, but
Definitely.
some mismanagement and mishandling has kind of left them back. First, we got the rematch with Rafael Marquez and Salinsei Mabuza, their second fight. The first fight, it ended early in a fourth round TKO on cuts, but it was kind of a barn burner. Marquez dropped Mabuza in the first round, but each round after that, Mabuza started coming back stronger. They were trading right in the middle of the ring, and it was building up as a real exciting fight, but eventually the ref had to stop it, or the doctor had to stop it due to the cuts.
I agree that it was a barn burner, but I think Raphael was showing who was wearing the pants in the ring, though.
Right.
But it was an exciting fight.
Right.
And I like Marquez. He's one of those guys kind of like Trinidad, where he has outstanding power, but he's shown vulnerability.
Right.
He's been knocked out, I think 3 times before. So you never know.
Right.
You know it's going to be a knockout, but you don't know who's going to get knocked out.
It's going to be a good fight.
What about Marquez? Don't know the guy he's fighting. Probably going to be an easy win for him. But what's going on with Marquez? Why isn't Marquez a bigger star now?
Well, at this point in his career, I don't know whether or not we can say it's going to be an easy win because nobody's seen him for a while. Plus, he's getting up there in years. He's been around for a while. He's one of the best technicians, but I mean, this guy, I'm not quite sure of his caliber opponents, but he might be a little bit fresher. Might be catching Marquez off a little bit of inactivity, so it might have been. And I haven't seen the guy, so he could be a top contender that just hasn't got the exposure yet. But as far as technician-wise, I think Marquez has got to be considered at least one of the top 5 guys in the game. So it's hard to go against him right now, especially of a guy we haven't seen.
Right, now he did have the loss against Chris John though in his last bout.
Right. But, you know, a lot of other boxing journalists that have seen the fight tape, I haven't, I don't think any of you all have either.
I haven't.
But a lot of other boxing journalists have said that after viewing the tape, it looked like Marquez got jobbed a little bit. You know, he took the fight for 30 grand, went out into the backwoods in Indonesia, you know, all Indonesian promotion. And from what I hear, he got jobbed. I haven't seen it. I hear he got jobbed. So I don't know how much to take from that loss.
Okay, now we talked a little bit about the mismanagement. How does a fighter go from where Marquez had the bout with Pacquiao, got dropped 3 times in the first round, and then came back, and I think he probably fought the best fight of his life from after that first round, where he clearly outclassed Pacquiao for the rest of that bout, ended up getting a draw. How do you go from that kind of buzz to losing in Indonesia for 70,000?
No, 30,000. 30,000.
What's the problem there?
Well, you know, it's probably not all Marquez's fault. You know, probably none of his fault. You know, it's his management. You know, how's he being moved? You know, they're just not matching him. You know, they're just not giving him the fights, and that's, you know, you said, how are they going to become more mainstream? And it's activity. You know, and
but do you think that him as a fighter at some point in time to say, hey, we need to take this fight? You know, do you think that it's his place to step up and push for certain fights? Or do you think it falls strictly on the management?
well, I think a lot of that's behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you don't know that he's not saying that.
Right.
You know,
Right.
maybe he is saying that.
Right.
And a lot of times you get these managers, promoters, super fighters head up. Say, oh, don't take 750. We can get, you know, 2 million. You know, which really isn't the case. You know, for the fighter, they're gonna put their trust
Right.
into their manager. You know, they're gonna say, okay, this is a business person. Let me go ahead and handle these affairs. But now you have to think, you know, that he's gonna start making better business decisions. He doesn't have a promoter right now. He's a free agent. So I think he's looking at the promotional outfits to see where is he going to get the best deal, where is he going to get the most TV time, and get a chance to be a world champion again in the public eye.
They need to get off the pot though, because the door is closing though.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
It's a young man's game.
as far as being a star too, and look at Winky Wright. You know, he won best technicians in the game, just like Marquez. And how long did it take him?